sign I'm loving for him, I'ma make it happen. Now my dreams reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing.
Hey everybody, it's the Colts. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Indianapolis Colts.
We are just across the Allegheny River from downtown Pittsburgh at rain-soaked Heinz Field in the Steel City. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in. And the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Get ready.
So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their quarterback who grew up just outside of Cleveland on Lake Erie, Mitchell Trubisky.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
Number 53, Mike 53. And let's get that ball here. Let's get that ball.
On first down, Trubisky. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Amani Hooker, and they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Well, an aggressive play call to start this game. It backfired, but aggressive, no question about that.
Is that one of those statement calls? Trying to let you know that they're going to be aggressive right out of the gate. But that one hung up just a little bit too long. He made a nice play on the ball defensively and was able to pick it off.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker Bobby Wagner able to get back in coverage and knock it free. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Buying time to his left. He'll run it. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Here we go. Hey, Mike,
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Throws right side, and that's complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a 1st down. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got the turnover. We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. Flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Set 90 Wolf. Back to you. I'm going back to you. Now.
On 2nd down now, McClellan, and he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, Jacobs. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends, because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
They give him a gain of 38.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. Play action. Now Trubisky. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Now Saquon Barkley. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
12 yards that time, but a Pittsburgh first. Pretty effective opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the touchdown run earlier, and if he pops more of these 10 to 20-yard carries, could be a long game.
Yeah, those types of explosive runs wear down a defense. I think they need to add more people to the box, closer to the line of scrimmage, force them to throw the football, and see if they can slow them down that way.
A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 11 carries, 106 yards. 2nd and 3.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfied.
And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead.
When we draw up defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown.
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
And this offense led by Mitchell Trubisky going to make their way back out there. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. On 3rd and 1, it's Trubisky. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Take it in at the 22. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So here are the Steelers to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Wide open receiver complete. A big play there on the catch and run. 65 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Saquon Barkley, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. So the big play to kick off the drive set them up 1st and goal, and they're able to cash in right away on play number 2.
I think I'm starting to understand more and more when we get ready to do games and we meet with coaches why they talk about big plays, explosive plays, and how it sets them up for success, because that's exactly how they were able to score on this one. We saw the touchdown. We saw the payoff, but, of course, that big, long
Indianapolis set.
charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it up. Anthony Barr in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up, because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. We are in for a good one as we're through 1 on EA Sports. On 3rd down, Trubisky. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. That pick 6 extending this lead even further. Boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the 3rd quarter. But things don't improve fast then. I think the backups get a lot of play in the 2nd half.
This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it. But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
He is going to find Hill here. And now they are knocking on the door inside Pittsburgh's 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
The Colts with a first red zone opportunity in the ballgame. They've got it 1st and goal at the 6. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Trubisky will throw. That's complete right around the 8. And here he'll get it down to the 7. They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. 2nd and 10. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one, because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged, because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
There he goes, left side. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Saquon Barkley, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one taken from the 7. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. He's scared.
Now Trubisky on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now it's Trubisky. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough third. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off around the 37. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run-blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And it's knocked away and incomplete. It was the free safety, LaMarcus Joyner, that time, able to make the play. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. They'll set up a throw. He'll rifle this one deep right. It's caught at the 10. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year as his guys continue to pour it on.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
And the Colts coming out now. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And he takes it down deep into Pittsburgh territory. A big play there on the catch and run. And even 60 yards. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Here's Trubisky to throw. Incomplete. The intended receiver that time, Adam Humphries. But it'll be 2nd down. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know. But all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find a silver lining in this one. Much more like lead.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down.
Let's go, D. Tighten up.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. His pass caught at the 4. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. From the shotgun is Trubisky. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd and goal.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Now Trubisky gets this one to Hill. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Marr able to put this one through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try to add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
At completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on him a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. This quarterback now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. He'll drop to throw. Eluding the pressure right. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Saquon Barkley, as the first half is winding down, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be fielded at the 6. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Out of the gun, Trubisky. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Steeler offense now with the football first here to begin the third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. On second down, McClellan. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And he will finally be taken down, but not before he gets it to the Colts' 35-yard line.
They're trying to show you they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. A first down carry for Barkley. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
2nd and 6. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked the ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's third down now. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road. Okay, it's time for me to break out my thesaurus for that one. And I don't have anything. That was amazing. One-handed in this weather. I mean, you know the ball's got to be slick. But to be able to catch it and come down with it, what do they call that? The process of the catch? He completed it all the way through.
2nd and goal from the 1. The toss out to Barkley. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is the time you go play action and throw the...
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A great play there. His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. The point after is good. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
All right, here we go. Let's go, D. Let's go.
It's brought in by Adam Humphries. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Watch the curl, watch the curl, watch the curl.
Once again, it's Jacobs. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Squeeze, double.
Here's Trubisky. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. And it's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. This is taken at about the 14. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time out, another touchdown. I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear
that is
by the time we have to leave the booth. Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
A running play here on 1st down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 13. He'll get this out to Barkley complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Now back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. This will be caught inside the 10. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a 3rd time. No one likes...
And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Saquon Barkley taking it in as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And let's not forget he had the receiving touchdown earlier. Now a trio of rushing touchdowns. Quite a performance.
Diversification, that's all you can talk about. His ability to do everything leaves him on the field on every down on offense because you can hand it to him as we've seen. But you say 3 rushing touchdowns, and of course throw it to him where he's caught 1 as well. And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus you're giving up yardage.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Now it's Trubisky. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Ferguson. Call it a gain of 3, and it's a 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Well, still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. Trubisky now to throw on 3rd down. Complete to his tight end Sample. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis 1st down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
180! Check 53, Mike. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
On 1st down, Trubisky. He'll find his running back here, Richard. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll make it a 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. Downs inside the 30. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives him
pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it online, but it comes up about a rotation short. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said,
and he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys continue to pour it on. Extra point up and through. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here.
18. Shift.
Looking to throw, Trubisky on 1st down. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Just like that.
Trubisky will throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. The 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Now Trubisky to throw. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
This will be taken at the 10. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. They'll run on 1st down. Boyd. And he lost the football. And the Colts pick it up. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly
Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one...
Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. A great return there of 22 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Saquon Barkley. 75 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
5 yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a second down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer.
2nd and 5. He's going to let this one go deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now it's Trubisky. And that will be incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
A very good return that time. 18 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open. Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh 1st. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Being chased out left. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 23. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Flushed out right. And now and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. He's going to let it fly. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards.
Let's go.
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
Stay with your man.
On first down, McClellan. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down. They'll set up a throw.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves, you're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about to run them into submission, I think.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
On second down, here's Barkley. Look at the spin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. They keep it with Barkley on first down. And he is going to be stopped here at the line of scrimmage. And time is going to expire in this football game. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Pittsburgh, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon.